Alrighty guys, let's take a walk because I am highly disappointed. Y'all see what I got here? This is a CarQuest fuel pump, as you can see on the box. Now I got some bad news for you hardcore OEM parts replacer. Okay, yes, I'm one. I am a big fan of when I say OEM, I mean manufacturer suggested parts. Okay, in other words, if I'm working on a Dodge, I'd much rather be using Mopar parts. If I'm working on a Ford, I'd rather be using Motorcraft parts. Okay, so y'all see this Charger 2014 model. All right, now I've already diagnosed this. Y'all know where this is headed, right? The reason I have a fuel pump. Yes, I didn't bother going over the diagnostic procedure because I have several videos showcasing this procedure and why a car may potentially not start. You see this? This is starter fluid. This is really what you're supposed to be using. Some people will use injector cleaner, injector service. Basically anything that's flammable would work. But what happens is we spray that in the throttle body in hopes of it getting down to the intake and on the valves, and we're trying to simulate fuel presence. Okay, just say hypothetically, if you're not getting any fuel pressure or liquid fuel to the intake, you're not going to start. All right, so first thing you do, you come to it and you crank it. Yeah, if you suspect the fuel pump, this is one way to check it. Just spray down in the intake to simulate fuel presence. Okay, and lo and behold, it fired up. Of course, it's going to run for 2 or 3 seconds, maybe 5 seconds tops before it died. That's because the spray that you sprayed in it has subsided. All right, now I go a step further, guys. I don't just condemn a fuel pump just because I'm not getting fuel pressure. All right, remember, this is an electrical motor. All right, that thing under your hood, that's an engine. This is an electrical motor. It requires 12 volt and ground to operate. So what I did was put my test light on the power source, which is right here, this blue and orange wire, and I turned the key on and the light lit. Okay, now go to do the same thing for the ground. Just swap your test light around. If you're getting power supply and ground and your fuel pump still not running, it's simple, ladies and gentlemen. You have a failed fuel pump. Now, that should be fairly easy to memorize. Okay, like I say, I have several videos showing how to do this. In fact, I'll card one right up here you can check out. Right now, I'm just doing audio. All right, voice, talking. All right, now here's why I say you OEM guys may be a little upset. I'm upset. All right, this car need a fuel pump, and guess what they got me? Some rinky-dink ass CarQuest. Anybody got any experience with CarQuest? This thing any good? All right, I have an image to uphold, CarQuest. Okay, you cannot fail me and destroy my image. All right, people count on me to fix their car with quality parts. I plan to uphold that. All right, now here's the thing, what I want to know, because y'all know about the 2014 model Chargers and the things that need a fuel pump. They changed the circuitry. Now what I want to know is, did CarQuest change the circuitry? Yes, I'm gonna need a seal. Thank you, CarQuest, for giving me a new seal. I will need instructions. Yes, I won't, but I suggest you read the instruction. Okay, yeah. All right, now what I want to know, the big question here is, guess what? Guess what you don't see? Oh my goodness. Wait a minute, let me make sure it's not at the bottom of it. Okay, guys, so we are to maintain the same circuitry, or did CarQuest automatically assume the wiring has already been compromised or changed? All right, so oh my goodness, basically guys, I don't know how this thing is. Remember, the connector go right here, but there's more wiring going on the bottom of this thing. So if I had to guess, yellow is power supply. This is the motor right here. If I had to guess, yellow is power supply and ground is just that, or black is ground. Now, based off this, guys, think about that for a second. Yes, yellow and black. Those are the two end connectors out of the top end. So you know what? Let's go take a look at this. On the same connector that's going to plug into that, you have the power source and the ground right next to it. So in essence, what I'm trying to say is they didn't change the circuitry. So technically, I do not have to change the connector, but that is idiotic. Okay, remember the whole point in changing this circuitry was to get this ground wire from beside this positive wire. All right, I don't know who engineered this thing and thought of that, but the new circuitry is designed to where the ground wire is in pin 3. All right, and this pin right here go to pin 2. All right, you should not have power supply and a ground right beside each other. What if something catastrophic happened? You down there with fuel. You don't need no spark. Okay. My point is, they didn't change the circuitry, and they didn't mention anything about it, because if they did, the instructions probably would say so. Now, I haven't bothered to read the instruction, but it doesn't matter. Looking at the wiring circuitry the way they got it on this pump, I can see that they didn't change it. The power source is still right next to the ground. You look at this, same thing. So I am to, now will that make this fuel pump fail sooner? No, that's not what I'm saying, guys. I'm just saying CarQuest failed this customer. All right, the OEM designed this car a certain way that they since deemed necessary to change. They have made that change. Had I got a Mopar fuel pump, I would have got that wiring connector right along with it. All right, and I would have installed that wiring connector. Now, which begs the question, I will, because I'm an honest guy, I will adjust my my estimate. Now that I do not have to splice in a new harness or change the wiring, my customer will not have to pay as much. So I'm gonna make some adjustments, and I'm gonna let them know, okay, I do not have to change this. My job now is to merely open this up, pull the old pump out, put the new pump in, plug it in, and the thing fire up. Okay, now again, this is not a repair video. This is merely a talking video. So but I will show some clips of me replacing a fuel pump similar to this. In fact, there's a special tool that I use. If you don't have it, just use a chisel and a hammer. But I just want to enlighten y'all on this situation. CarQuest did not supply the updated wiring circuitry with their fuel pump. Is this a garbage fuel pump? I don't know. What's the warranty on this thing? Is it lifetime warranty? Look at that, guys. Y'all see that? Anybody want to tell me what the hell limited lifetime warranty mean? Lifetime is lifetime. What do they mean limited? Just a little bit now, JT. Just a little bit lifetime. Okay. That's all I have, guys. Be careful. So let that be, make it be known. Now, let's say if somebody had already put a fuel pump on and changed this, all right, and that fuel pump went bad and they got a CarQuest, will they have to go backwards? Yeah, so it's all in what you know about the history of your vehicle. Okay, now this is, you can see this hasn't been compromised, so this connector hasn't been changed at all. So it's from the factory at birth. So yeah, all I gotta do is plug it up. All right, I don't want this video to be long. I'm highly upset, guys, but there's nothing I can do. These things are on freaking back order. That's what I wanted to say. That's why I'm pissed. Now, what does that say about the part? Are a lot of them being used? I'm talking from a dealer. No dealer has these right now. I got a buddy, Ruley, 73 or 76. Check the Mopar. This is a 2014 Dodge Charger. See what's the availability on the OEM fuel pump, because one of the parts department, the Dodge dealer I frequent a lot, say they on back order, and I called another one, they on back order. So we basically was forced. She went and got this. She ain't trying to wait. She went. A pump is a pump, right? Now, can you destroy your pump? Guys, I've said this before. I say it again. Try not to run your car long while on E. Remember that liquid fuel can act as a cooler. Okay, it can keep your fuel pump cool. Liquid fuel is liquid, so it can. This fuel pump can tend to get a lot hot, maybe from constant running. If you run it dry, then yeah, you can. Chances are you can overheat your fuel pump and shorten its life. We don't want that. So try to stay at least a quarter or higher from your fuel gauge standpoint. But yeah, back order, guys. I'm upset. I don't know if these things falling like flies. I know some of y'all would like to believe that Dodge sucks. They fuel pump always going bad. I don't know. I mean, it's a high mileage car, so fuel pumps are not designed to last forever, ever, ever. No, yeah. At some point, every fuel pump out there on cars will fail. Okay, well, I got a CarQuest. Let me stop crying and put it on. All right, guys, enjoy the rest of the video.